That's very weird. Also, that's weird. Look, the leggings look weird. Looks more like I've got a belt on than I've got anything else on. That's really strange. Huh. Strange. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unorthoblocks. In the last episode, we did some stuff. I have got Matica up, and that is just so that I can show you guys what this is eventually going to look like. All of the outside stuff is just nothing. It's just there as like placeholders. So this dark oak trim going along the edge there, it's just as a placeholder. I was just measuring basically. But yeah, this is what it's going to look like. So let's turn this guy off, because we can't actually walk in there because we would fall down here into a little hole, which is not what we want at all. And my mic is up mad loud. However, I have actually built up a part of it. So if we come over to here, you can see that we've got the first sort of section built up and ready to go. So this is the redstoneless bit, which is basically why I started with this. So what we're going to be doing here is, on this end here, we're going to have our diorite stuff. So any spare diorite tools that we have is all going to go in here. I think I'm going to put the ores in these areas as well, just because I need a place to keep them, and I don't necessarily need to auto sort ores. Obviously we've got our little like evil lair under the shopping district where we're keeping some of them, but yeah, I feel like actually having some proper storage here would be good as well. Yeah, and then we're gonna have like diamond, so diamond, gold, iron, leather, and then just various other like handy unstackable items. And I think things like ender pearls and stuff like that as well, I think I'm gonna put in here. I think that makes sense. So yeah, this is like the first section done. I've been very busy, and I've color coordinated. This is like my little project section. I didn't have any boxes that were light blue, so this is all of the sort of redstoney bits that we need. I think I'm still missing a few bits. I do need to gather up another few little bits. This is just general redstone dust, and yeah, even more redstone. So these observers, that is pretty much exactly how many observers we need in total. And that's the same with the hoppers. Obviously the hoppers are going to be going into the backs of chests and stuff like that as well, so there's always going to be a lot of hoppers. But man, oh man, that is a lot of observers. If I could even begin to explain to you how the redstone worked, then I would, but I can't. Chest wise, this is what we need: chests. We also need barrels. And again, the barrels are actually a part of the redstone itself, which confuses me. And there's lava buckets, so there's a disposal overflow protection system built into it as well. I do understand that part. And yeah, there's even composters. It uses composters. I believe that's to compare a signal out with a comparator, just to make things work. So yeah, as I say, when we actually get it built up, I am going to drop a link to, I think he's called Metamilo, which is where I got it from. There's a link to his Discord server as well, which I recently joined, and there's a lot of very smart people on there talking about even more stuff that I don't understand. But you know, it's good. It's good to sort of understand things a little bit more. So by building this up, what I'm hoping is that I can actually sort of learn a little bit more about how what I'm building works and how it happens, essentially. Yeah. Anyway, before we ramble for too long like we normally do, these intros wind up being about 5 minutes long, which this one is already about 5 minutes long. I'm not doing any work here. I'm going to the spawn island. Bye. So, what are we doing back here yet again? We do spend a lot of time here. At the moment, I am going to be given... Excuse me. Oh, phantoms. Of course it's phantoms. Come on, catch fire. Right, now I'm on fire as well. That's great. Yeah, so we are back here because I want to return what I took, basically. I borrowed stuff. I needed it. I was desperate. You've still got one. You've still got one. You do not. Oh, do you know what? I should really give them pickaxes. I feel like that would be like a super handy thing to have. You have no food, so we'll leave you up. You have no food, so we'll leave you up. Did you have food? Yeah, you have food. You have food. You have food. Did I take Loon's one as well? No, you're fine. Right, so you need food. You just need the elytra and the arrows. And you need food as well. I must have lost an elytra somewhere along the way. I know I didn't fill everyone's stuff up with elytras, but I thought I did more than that. Plus you're missing one as well. Oh well, doesn't matter. Let's just get some food available. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4? Need food? No, you don't need food. Why'd I leave you up? You don't need food either. You need food. You need food. And you need food. Right, cool. So, that is done. I feel better about things now. It means that I can die again and I can cash in on this yet again. If I absolutely need to. No, I have come here because I want to continue sort of expanding on things, you know, based off of what we've got here. Want to just basically continue expanding this island a little bit and making it look a bit nicer. I also want to somehow incorporate a U and a B somewhere. I also am wondering whether I should change this or not. Part of me kind of wants to keep it as it is because this has been like this for the longest of times. So is it worth changing? I don't think it is. I might leave it. I'll find a way to incorporate it into the build actually. That'd be a bit of a better idea. So I'm probably actually going to wind up expanding the island a little bit. So what I'm thinking is down here we're going to have like a little sandy bit. Yep, just a little sandy bit. A very, very small sandy bit. And then it's going to come straight back up into another sort of cliff facing that's going to come out a bit. So essentially this is going to have the feeling of a bit of a valley type thing. But yeah, obviously it's a very, very shallow valley. And probably from here will be like the pathway up onto that plateau. And then up on that plateau I want to put like a tower and, you know, just get some other little builds going and get things looking a little nicer around here. So without further ado, I'm not going to time lapse this, I'm just going to do it. Not the whole thing, I'm going to get like the base of the cliff built up and yeah, that should give you guys a bit of an idea of what's going on. Come on, recording software, do some loading please. Come on, recording software. There we go. Right, progress. Progress. What have we done and why are we doing it and what's going on? Let's have a look. I've done that. I've created a mound. A lovely little mound. Tempted to put like a sort of mountain peak along the back there, but let's talk what I'm thinking here. So I'm tempted to get like a little wooden structure put up just here, and we're going to have like a little bridge thing that comes across into a tower that is going to be here. I think I'm actually going to make it overlap the edge of the cliff a little bit, so there'll be an entrance from the bottom as well that you can get up to, plus it would make this bridge a little bit shorter, just adds a bit of extra detail to everything. Where is my... there you are. Yeah, none of this is spawn proof, so sleeping is definitely going to be an important one. So yeah, I think that that's a pretty cool idea, and that's going to add like a nice little bit of depth to this. And then we've got another little layer of depth over here where I think I'm going to put like a little sort of garden area in this bit. We'll build like a couple of small custom trees and all that sort of stuff. And then coming up the top here, I'm thinking like sort of medieval manor type build could probably go up here. Something like not massive, something quite small, but sort of like it would be like the master of this medieval town that I'm apparently now building, which then leads me into my next idea, which brings us back over to here. So I was thinking, obviously none of this really makes sense from a like lore perspective. From a I just felt like building it perspective, you know, it's fine. But yeah, we got a church here with a load of graveyards. We're gonna have a manor here. We're gonna have a tower here. We need some sort of a town, and I don't want to keep like creating fake terrain here. I mean, I'm gonna have to create fake terrain for it to work. But I was thinking we could sort of take this here and sort of connect it up into one big island, and we could build like just a bunch of small medieval houses on it. Could be pretty cool. But the thing that I'm gonna go for if I'm gonna do that is between this point and this point, I want to create like a little raft. Um, there's a scene in Lord of the Rings or in the books where they get on a thing called the Huckleberry Ferry, which is basically just like a bunch of planks of wood and some rope, and you pull yourself across the river. So essentially, what I want to do is try and simulate that using flying machines. I'm pretty certain that it can work. I'm sure. I'm sure that that's something that could be done. And I just think it'd be a pretty cool little thing to do. So obviously, this part of the island here would have to be quite low down as well, and then we'd like build it up. Hello, Mr. Creeper. Obviously, no one's ever spent any time over here other than dying and the beginning of the season, so nothing is really very lit up at all. But yeah, I think that's a pretty cool idea. The only other thing we're going to have to really consider is I didn't know anyone had built anything over here. Hello? Hello? Oh, there's a guardian. Oh, I did not know that was there. That's interesting. I wonder whose that is. Does it function? What are you saying? Claimed by Forge. I don't think he's done it. Anyway, yeah, I think that could be a pretty cool idea. Right. With this, I need to start getting the texturing in now. That is the bit that takes time. This bit was fairly quick and painless. Adding in texture. I'm just going to go for a similar thing to what I've done here. Just because it makes sense. Keep the island looking the same. So andesite, cobblestone. Where did I get a fish from? Yeah, andesite and cobblestone being mixed into it. I used to go for adding slabs and stairs and everything, but it does just take such a long time to do all of that. You basically wind up making multiple passes around it. Maybe eventually, but to get the sort of basic idea, I think we're just going to be mixing the cobble and andesite. So I am going to get onto that, and you guys can enjoy a time lapse of a build that I haven't made yet of this tower here. So we have been quite busy then. We built up a large chunk of stuff. So we got a pretty cool little tower here, just keeping with that sort of acacia theme from the church over here, which I think is a nice sort of combination. It's a pretty basic and straightforward tower. We've got like this awesome little bridge here, which is, let's come to this side to get a bit of a different view. Which, yeah, I think has come out looking pretty cool. It's very different to any design I've really done before. I don't think I've ever designed a bridge like this before. Anyway, on these trapdoors here and here, I want to put some item frames, and I actually want to put up a brand new piece of map art because, yes, I hate myself apparently, but I've got a pretty cool idea and I'd like to do that. And then you can see in the background there that I've actually moved the Nether portal and placed it inside this lightning struck tree, which I think looks really cool. I've actually built this thing before, but I kind of just decided that it fits in here. So what we wound up doing was actually quite different to what we said we was going to do, but I still think it wound up coming out pretty decent. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Quite happy with the way the whole thing looks. And just coming around the back, so you can see the roots are actually overhanging the edge of that a little bit, which I think is, again, another nice little piece of detail to add. Anyway, I've still got some work to do around here, so I am gonna get on and do those bits. We can jump back in, have a fun look, and then we will move on for the day, probably to storage system, because that's what we really need. So yeah, I've recently moved which room I record in, and haven't done any sort of acoustic treatment to the room, so there's a mad amount of echo, which I'm sure you heard in the last 2 clips. I'm hoping what I'm doing at the moment is going to help sort of suppress that sound a little bit. But yeah, hopefully all of the stuff I've got for that is going to be turning up tomorrow. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on here. You've just watched 2 clips of some work that I've been doing on the server. So we finished off all of the spawn island bit that I was planning to do for the day, and I'm really happy with the way that all came out, and I think that's looking really good now. Maybe a little bit overgrown, but all in all I really feel like it's coming together quite well. We got like a bit of a vision. What we have done is a bit different to what we originally said we was going to do, but that's kind of the good thing about building, I guess. Once you get a new idea in your head, you think it's a bit better and you just roll with it. We're still going to put that bridge in place. And then I did a bit more work on the river as well, because, you know, that's a project that I really want to get done, and I'm slowly working on it. Anyway, what you're seeing here is the storage room, and it is the most complicated thing I've ever built in my life. Even using a schematica, it was really hard to get everything in the right places. You know, getting observers round the right way and all of that sort of stuff is not the easiest thing in the world in such a small space. But this storage system's really clever. I haven't quite finished yet. I've still got some work to do, sort of in between episodes, where I set it up for what I actually want to have stored in there. And we will get to that. Just gotta be a little bit patient with it, because there's a lot more stuff I still need to do yet that I still don't fully understand, so I'm gonna have to watch the video and go through it step by step, just to work out exactly what items to put where, what sort of blocker items to put in, and yeah, basically just understand how it works. But yeah, hopefully I'll get all of my sound stuff sorted out for the next episode. If not, then it might be a little bit of a different episode, which is fine. I kind of like making quirky, weird episodes as well, so maybe we can go along something down those lines. At any rate, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Kind of got cut a little bit short, and I've had to improvise the way that I'm finishing it off. As I say, hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.